News special, The Chauvin Verdict. That's tonight at 10 Eastern, 9 Central Time. I'm Nora O'Donnell, along with Gail King in Minneapolis. Thank you.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com.
And good evening from Augusta. We've been watching right along with you this breaking news out of Minneapolis today, where, just to recap, former police officer Derek Chauvin found guilty of all the charges related to the death of George Floyd.
Live pictures now showing you what the scene is in Minneapolis here. In the last hour, the jury found him on all counts guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Chauvin could be sent to prison for decades, and we're also learning President Biden and Vice President Harris have called Floyd's family, but you can see right there outside of the Hennepin County courthouse, a lot of people gathered, a lot of troops gathered, and hopefully their presence will not be needed tonight.
A bit of a sense of relief in major cities, including Minneapolis, across the country tonight.
New at 6 o'clock, Burke County Sheriff Alfonso Williams responding already to this verdict, saying, quote, perhaps now we can start greater conversations about law enforcement, race relations, standards of training, and the need to stop, listen to one another, and to take actions to lessen these types of incidences.
Just a few minutes to cover some news, but right now let's head outside for a quick look at the
full forecast in just a little bit.
Riley, thanks so much. Breaking news this evening, we're working to learn more about a possible pedestrian hit in Columbia County. An official there telling News 12 someone was hit at Furys Ferry Road and Evans to Lock Road around 5:15, a very busy intersection there. We're reaching out to find out more about what happened there.
Tonight, we're on your side, parents, after the Aiken County Sheriff's Office seized these gummies during a traffic stop. And while they might at first glance look like a normal patch of Sour Kids or gummy worms, if you take a closer look, you will see that those are infused with marijuana.
The local discovery now has deputies warning parents to keep a close eye on the candy their kids are eating and bringing home.
And it's a warning we've seen 3 times in the last week from different law enforcement agencies across the 2 states, getting closer and closer to home. News 12's Brady Shrapnel on your side with what parents should know.
And Laura, I spoke with investigators, school officials, other law enforcement, and they say it's not a big issue in our community right now, but that can change at any time. Stoner Patch Kids, Doritos, Trips Ahoy, sure, they may be clever names, but law enforcement says it's a dangerous trend.
You know, these packages that we've intercepted, you know, look just like a candy that you would buy out of a grocery store.
Jason Griffin, an Aiken public safety detective, says they found these THC-infused candies during traffic stops and while serving search warrants.
Well, we've seen it, nothing recent here in the city limits of Aiken, but we have seen it. We've also seen it here in the city in mail-in packages coming from another state.
A Columbia County narcotics investigator told me that really parents of high schoolers are the only ones who should be concerned. These products are expensive and must be trafficked across state lines. Each of our large school districts, Aiken, Columbia, and Richmond counties, haven't found any of these drugs on school grounds, but a school in Lancaster County, South Carolina, found an uncrustable PB&J laced with THC from marijuana.
We do believe it's a concern, and it will be something that, you know, not only for parents, for their children.
Keep an eye on your kids and make sure you actually read what's on those candies in disguise. And investigators say these products are often full of high levels of THC, and if a teenager did use these, it could cause quite a bit of harm.
Thank you for the warning there, Brady. The I-Team uncovering new information about the Columbia County businessman accused in federal court of orchestrating a master's fraud to the tune of $2.5 million.
The issue, selling companies master's badges that were then rejected at the gate, totaling up to nearly 200 days of lost access for dozens of customers. Our I-Team spent the day digging into the new federal suit against Joe Mullins. And if Mullins' name sounds familiar, he was a Columbia County businessman who ran for a state house seat to represent the area back in 2015. Current records show he lives down in Florida, where he serves as the vice chair of the Flagler County Commission. Today, the I-Team confirmed Mullins was investigated by the Richmond County Sheriff's Office for felony theft by deception after an Ohio company accused Mullins' business of similar actions and losses of more than $170,000. It took a year, but that was later dropped and settled privately. We also found this suit, this one from 2012, where a Canadian company filed a $1.2 million civil suit against Mullins with similar accusations. We found this case was dismissed 5 years later and also settled privately. So this third suit, this is nearly 50 pages long. It was just filed this month. In it, the Arizona company Golf Travel LLC is suing Mullins, accusing him of fraud, breach of contract, and civil racketeering for selling the master's badges they say were invalid. And we aren't talking about a few badges here. This suit alleges travelers from all over the world came to Augusta and lost 176 days of total access to the tournament in 2018. Golf Travel LLC says Mullins also didn't deliver badges he contractually promised to produce back in 2019. And while the suit does say Mullins did pay the company back from some losses, they argue it's not enough. They want nearly $2.5 million in damages. So I called and texted Joe Mullins for a comment today. He declined an interview, but did send me a text saying he was in the middle of a commission meeting. He had not been served anything, saying it's a frivolous lawsuit and his attorneys are handling it.
Also this evening, we're hearing from Georgia Governor Brian Kemp about a planned boycott against Home Depot. Governor Kemp says it'll do more harm than good.
This is a great company that not only has great products and great facilities in our state, it counts for 30,000 jobs, 90 facilities, and 15 distribution centers that make great products and have great people working there. And for them to be targeted by this organization and these people is quite honestly hard to comprehend.
A group of faith-based leaders from across the state just announcing the boycott earlier this afternoon. The coalition says Home Depot is failing to uphold its corporate responsibility.
The reason why we're standing outside of Home Depot is because we feel grave injustice is taking place, not just across the street, but around the country, from failing to operate in integrity from a corporation.
Major companies like Coca-Cola and Delta have spoken out against Georgia's new voting law. Home Depot released a statement saying all elections should be accessible, fair, and secure, and they support broad voter participation. Riley.
For our Wednesday, we are